young Sheldon seemingly sets Dale and Meemaw's future up for success. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 14 proves the pair's dynamic isn't as healthy as it once seemed. The Big Bang Theory's cast of characters included June Squibb as Sheldon's beloved Meemaw, but no mention of her boyfriend, Dale. In young Sheldon's finale, Dale and Meemaw were happy together, but the couple may have broken up in the years that followed before The Big Bang Theory introduced an older version of Meemaw. They certainly wouldn't be the only couple to undergo a major off-screen change between young Sheldon's ending and The Big Bang Theory's beginning. The very title of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is derived from a piece of lore revealed in The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 23, The Sibling Realignment. In that outing, Sheldon's older brother Georgie mentions his ex-wife in passing. In young Sheldon's ending, Georgie and Mandy seem to be happily married. Thus, a big element of the spin-off's appeal is solving the mystery of what broke the couple up. Similarly, Dale and Meemaw might have seemed perfectly stable and content in young Sheldon's finale, but Georgie and Mandy's first marriage already offers one potential explanation for Dale's absence from The Big Bang Theory. In episode 14, A Sportsbook and a Breakup, Georgie and Mandy discover that Meemaw is back to her old tricks, running an illegal sportsbook gambling scheme, only a few months after she was arrested for running an illegal gambling room. When he discovers this deceit, Dale breaks up with Meemaw over her lies and risky behavior in A Sportsbook and a Breakup. At the episode's ending, a tearful Dale begs Meemaw to take him back to Gales of Mirth from the laugh track. However, the spin-off ignores the fact that, judging by Meemaw's unchanging attitude in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Dale was right to break up with her. Meemaw's last illegal gambling ring almost broke up her family, so his response made sense, and he shouldn't have capitulated so soon after their breakup. From the breach of trust to the risky sportsbook scheme itself, Dale and Meemaw didn't discuss any of their relationship problems before getting back together. Since they are not the show's main characters, it arguably makes sense for Georgie and Mandy's first marriage to take their relationship a little less seriously than Georgie and Mandy's eponymous union. However, there are still major main characters in the sitcom franchise, so if Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is going to bring the older couple back, they deserve a storyline that does them justice. Although McAllister Auto is Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's main story focus, the young Sheldon spin-off still finds room for Mary, Meemaw, and Missy to put in regular appearances. A Sportsbook and a Breakup was one of the first episodes of the spin-off to primarily focus on Meemaw, and it was fascinating to see how her relationship with Mandy negatively impacted Mandy's relationship with Georgie. Mandy became more flippantly dishonest with her husband when she started working on Meemaw's risky sportsbook scheme, getting invested in promised riches and forgetting about keeping Georgie in the loop as a result. Although Georgie and Mandy didn't end up having a major fight over the sportsbook in the episode, Dale and Meemaw's relationship provided a bleak mirror of their potential future. After Georgie's visit from George Sr. in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage reminded him about the importance of rest, Meemaw and Dale's short-lived breakup was a stark reminder that not every couple are a good roadmap for the duo. Dale and Meemaw are in an even unhealthier place they were earlier in young Sheldon, before Meemaw's arrest. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage proved Dale and Meemaw aren't as good a couple as I thought, as Meemaw clearly learned nothing from her arrest in young Sheldon's final season. Meemaw initially appeared to be humbled by her community service, and she seemed to know that another risky infraction could not only send her to prison, but also jeopardize her relationship with Dale. However, in A Sportsbook and a Breakup, Meemaw doesn't even apologize for the scheme when Dale confronts her at a motel in the episode's ending. It seems like Meemaw has no intention of ending her risky gambling scheme, even if it costs her a relationship with Dale, and Dale doesn't have it in him to draw a firm boundary and end their relationship as a result. As such, the couple now boast the most obviously unhealthy dynamic in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, despite their seemingly promising young Sheldon ending. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage? Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series. Georgie Cooper and Mandy McAllister's marriage was supposed to be a moment of joy, a young couple embracing love despite the odds, overcoming obstacles, and proving that they were ready for the next step. But in the midst of their union, an unexpected truth comes to light. Their commitment doesn't just shine a light on their own relationship. It exposes the cracks in Dale Ballard and Meemaw's partnership. And honestly, that's just heartbreaking. Georgie and Mandy's relationship has been through its fair share of ups and downs. From the start, their journey has been anything but traditional. Mandy initially resisted Georgie's charm, finding him too immature and reckless. But over time, his growth, determination, and unwavering love for her, and their baby, Cece, won her over. Now as they take the step into marriage, their love feels fresh, full of hope, and driven by a desire to build something lasting. On the other hand, Dale and Meemaw's relationship is different. They aren't a bright-eyed young couple with endless possibilities ahead of them. They're seasoned adults who have lived through past marriages, heartbreak, and disillusionment. What started as a fun, casual relationship between them slowly deepened, but their love always seemed to have an expiration date attached to it, whether they admitted it or not. As Georgie and Mandy stand before their family, making vows to support each other no matter what, it becomes painfully obvious that Dale and Meemaw don't share the same certainty about their own future. If there's one thing we know about Meemaw, it's that she's fiercely independent. After her failed marriage to George Sr., she built a life for herself on her own terms. She runs her business, takes care of her family, and doesn't let anyone tell her what to do. But when it comes to relationships, that independence has always come with walls. Dale has been patient with Meemaw, but the signs of trouble have been there for a while. He's wanted more commitment, more certainty, more of a future together. And Meemaw? She's never been able to give him that. Watching Georgie, her own grandson, embrace marriage and a future with Mandy makes Meemaw's reluctance stand out even more. While Georgie is stepping forward into commitment, Meemaw has spent years avoiding it. And now it's clearer than ever that her relationship with Dale might not survive that avoidance much longer. Dale has put in the effort with Meemaw. He's tried to be patient, to accept her terms, and to make things work without pressuring her. But seeing Georgie and Mandy commit to each other highlights something painful for him. He and Meemaw have been stuck in the same place for far too long. Georgie is younger, less experienced, and arguably had even more reasons to hesitate before getting married. But he still chose to take that leap. Dale, who is older and far more certain of what he wants, has been waiting for Meemaw to do the same, but she hasn't. The wedding, instead of being a celebration, becomes a mirror that forces Dale to acknowledge the truth. Meemaw may never be willing to take the next step with him, and that realization stings. At the wedding reception, there's a moment between Dale and Meemaw that says it all. While everyone else is celebrating, Dale is quiet, lost in thought. Meemaw notices, of course, she always does. She asks him what's wrong, and at first, he brushes it off. But then, he says something that makes Meemaw's heart sink. They're a lot younger than us, Connie, and yet, somehow, they're braver. The weight of those words is crushing. Meemaw knows exactly what he means. Dale is tired of waiting for her to want the same things he does. He's tired of pretending that their relationship is fine, as it is when deep down, he knows he wants more. Meemaw, as much as she loves Dale, can't give him an answer he wants to hear. Because the truth is, she doesn't know if she'll ever be ready for marriage again. And as much as that honesty matters, it doesn't make things hurt any less. As the night goes on, it becomes obvious that something between Dale and Meemaw has shifted. While everyone else is focused on Georgie and Mandy, the two of them are having their own private reckoning. Dale isn't angry, just sad. He spent years loving Meemaw, hoping that one day she'd be ready to fully commit. But watching Georgie and Mandy take that leap has made him realize he can't wait forever.